What's up, everyone? Welcome again to my YouTube channel. My name is Andy. I'm currently a design student with Design Lab and their UX Academy Bootcamp. And today I wanted to make a video talking about why did I want to do a career pivot? Why did I want to become a UX designer? Why did I want to leave a relatively comfy, well-paying job and ditch all that into a design career? So I want to share this because I know people have that question. Should I do it? Is it worth it? I had the same questions, and today I wanted to share my honest opinions. These are not my interview answers; these are just honest to God, heart. My what I feel. So let's get right into it. So number one reason why I wanted to become a UX designer was simply because I was becoming a little burnt out with previous job. I didn't hate what I do. I didn't hate what I used to do, but I also didn't see myself continuing with that path the next whatever years of my working life. And I truly, truly believe that life is so limited, and you will spend a majority of your life working for something, for someone. So you might as well really enjoy what you do. And I was never someone who was able to identify the one thing that I really loved in a career. I remember growing up, and even in college, I didn't really quite know what I wanted to do. So when I first learned about design, and I'll talk about this a little bit more later on, but when I first started designing and playing around with Figma, I really became passionate about it. So I knew in my heart of hearts that although my previous job was paying pretty well as a good company, I had a good career track, my heart was probably in something else. So that's the first reason why I decided to switch, just because I wanted a job I really liked. And my advice, honestly speaking, is if you're feeling a little burnt out, if you don't love what you do, if you're just kind of, going through the motions, going through the steps of just working, um, I know it might be controversial, but maybe you should consider looking outside of what's traditional, seeing what else is out there for you to do, because there's so much out there for you to do. Why limit yourself to just what you're doing and being comfortable? For me, I'd rather risk something to get more than just chill with the status quo. So again, I was drinking coffee, I was pounding on coffee, and my realization was I was drinking so much coffee, so much caffeine intake, just because I wasn't really, really, really enjoying what I did. I had to kind of force it a little bit, and yeah, so it just made sense for me. I was getting burnt out, and I wanted to pivot. So that's reason number one. So reason number two is kind of the reason why I first learned about design. So in my spare time outside of my job, I was actually working on my own business. But I come from a not technical background, so I didn't quite know how to actually code or design or anything. But in the early days of starting my own business, I wanted to be able to build prototypes and show and have designs and sketches and all these things. So I learned from a few entrepreneurs what their preferred prototyping tool was, and they mentioned to me Figma. And obviously, I had no clue how to use Figma. I hadn't even heard of Figma before in the past. Matter of fact, I'd never even heard of the word UI UX before I started researching. And anyways, I played around with Figma, ended up being very confusing, but I went to the good old YouTube, and I looked at their Figma channel, and I kind of just began to self-teach myself how to use Figma, how to use auto layout, their frames, everything. And I honestly had a blast. Like, I just began designing and began sketching. I didn't know the process back then of design, but I ended up, drawing some sketches of the business I wanted, some of the screens. I ended up trying to put that into Figma, and they weren't beautiful, obviously, back then because I didn't quite know how to do it. I didn't understand a lot of the UX principles, but I had a great time. I would wake up at 6 a.m. just excited and pumped and motivated. I would just, put on Spotify, a playlist, and just start designing screens. So that's kind of when I first got exposed to design, and how I first got exposed to Figma. And honestly, again, I just loved it. I just had a great time, and I looked forward to doing it every single day. So that's the second reason why, right? Because I got exposure to it, and I really, really liked it. And personally, for me, I think that is also important when you're considering UI UX design as a career, is that you should also really love it as well. because it is kind of grueling. It takes a lot of effort to learn. There is the projects can be demanding. So if you don't really like it or really love it a lot, it might be a little tough, and your motivation might dip a little bit. So again, I was very fortunate that I ended up loving it as well. So number three, the third reason why I decided to pursue a career in UX design was because for me, I wanted to produce work that I was proud of. In my previous roles and internships, I was always I was always more working with customers, trying to be a salesman. Um, but I feel like I wasn't really producing work that I was proud of. I was supporting a great organization. I was helping them hit their goals. But at the end of the day, I couldn't sit back and be like, wow, I'm so proud of the work I've done. Look at this. Look at all this great work I've done. It's really impacted a lot of people. It's impacted my organization. Maybe it did, obviously, but for me, I wanted something more tangible, something more creative, something more, just more artsy, I guess, for lack of better words. So for me, design is awesome because when you begin designing, you go through the whole process and make a final product, you really put your whole energy and effort and soul into it, and you'll most likely end up producing something that you're so proud of. And I wanted, to create work that I was proud of. I wanted to be producing something that it was just, again, not to overuse the word proud, but something that I was just proud of. So that's why I liked it. And I always felt myself, obviously, in my previous job was more sales oriented. I enjoyed talking to people. But another part of me that I really enjoyed was also the creativity piece, the problem solving piece, the entrepreneurial piece that I felt design really provided to me. And the fourth reason why I decided to pursue a career in UX design is because when I started learning about the UX design process, the light bulb was lit up because I was like, wow, this is exactly what entrepreneurs do. For me, what I realized was that UX design was so similar to what entrepreneurs do. We want to find problems. We want to see, how people are currently living with these problems, and then we want to find solutions, and then we want to create a product. So as I was learning about the UX design process through a design lab, every time we went to the next chapter, I'm like, wow, this is exactly kind of what I was doing with my business when I was trying to start it, kind of unknowingly knowing that this is exactly what, UX designers do. And that concept really got me excited. For me, I love problem solving. I'm the one of those crazy people where when I see problems, I don't get bummed out. When I hear problem, I automatically almost think, okay, what are the opportunities? What are the solutions? I'm just so solution oriented that it almost became just fun. Whenever I heard a problem, I just love solving problems. And that's what I felt like the design process was just providing great solutions to problems around us. So again, design paralleled so much with just entrepreneurship and creativity. And the fifth reason, the last but definitely not the least important reason why I wanted a career in UX design was just the overall, what I felt the work-life pay balance. I saw just the starting salaries; they were decent. Where I'm based in the U.S., I saw the average starting junior role that people were landing were anywhere from 65K all the way up to, I saw even like 100K, 110K, which was similar to what I was being paid before. So I was happy with that. So the pay was decent for what it was, and which I appreciated. And number two, I saw that there was a good amount of remote work available. Obviously, I do believe design is very collaborative, and there are benefits for sure of meeting in person and talking to people and collaborating. But I was also intrigued by the fact that there are so many remote or hybrid positions available. And I truly valued that. And I cannot even lie to you. I know I'm one of those guys I got sucked into the concept of this digital nomad lifestyle. I don't think I would ever do it at this point in time in my life. But it's definitely nice to think about, being able to do some design work when you're sipping on like a pina colada on the beaches of, like one of these places here, beaches somewhere here. That concept kind of got me excited. So of course, I wanted work that could allow me to do that one day if I wanted to. And the last piece I would say in terms of the work-life balance, also I spoke with some people who are from that background, and of course there are seasons within, I would say, design, where some seasons within the job you might be very busy and things could be chaotic and hectic. But then there's also periods where it kind of cools down a little bit. And from the people I spoke with and people who thankfully they were open to talking with me, they were honest that sometimes it can be very challenging, difficult with work-life balance, but also if you're smart about it and you're kind of very strict about your life, you can have a decent work-life balance as well. So yeah, the pay, the ability to be remote or hybrid, work wherever, and all that. And last bonus piece, what I would say is the ability to make extra money. As we know that, in the world that we live in today, you're paid a lot based off your skills and your ability to. You're paid based off how much value you bring to the world, and I believe it's important to have a set of hard skills that can actually contribute something to an organization. So I wanted to be able to have a set of skills like design, like UI design, UX design. If I ever want to maybe do some freelancing, or if I wanted to ever start my own consultancy company, I just wanted a set of hard skills that I know people valued. And I believe that UX design is one of those skills that people value because of how important it is for any business to succeed. You need a good UI and UX behind it. So those are my 5 reasons, or I guess 6 reasons now, 6 bonus reasons. I hope that was helpful. I hope some of that spoke to you a little bit. If you were to ask me if, Andy, should I do it? I would say 100% yes. You got nothing to lose, maybe some time and money, but it is what it is. It just, definitely go for it. It's fun, but definitely make sure you enjoy the process of design. And you're not in it just to make money, because design can be a little bit tough. So you need to have that passion as well for it. So again, hope that was helpful, and make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll continue to post more videos. I'll try to post once a week. This week I was a little bit delayed because I was working on a case study actually for Design Lab. Got a little bogged down. But yeah, thanks for watching, and until next time.